Hello everyone, electricity is back. So we continue to read from the First Dodrupchen's biography written by Tulku Thondup. In 1791, when Dodrupchen was at Samye, the Gurkha forces of Nepal ransacked many places in western Tibet, including the town of Shikatse and Jashilumpo Monastery, which is His Holiness Panchen Lama's monastery. People in central Tibet were frightened of being overrun by Gurkha forces any day, and many were fleeing their towns and monasteries. Sound kind of like the current motion in the south right now, because a lot of houses have to be demolished due to the unfortunate events of Hurricane Helene. As requested by fearful people, after having completed prayers at the main temple of Samye, Dodrupchen went to Hippori Hill and made a sang offering, smoke offering. He invoked the Dharma protectors and reminded them of their vows to protect Tibet before the eyes of Guru Rinpoche. So according to old times, the protectors were supposed to protect Tibet. The smoke of the sang formed the shape of a Garuda, an eagle-like mystical bird, in the sky, and was carried in the direction of the invaders. At sunset, he threw a Dharma offering cake toward the west. At the moment, a dark cloud and a strong storm were coming from the west. At that moment, a dark cloud was coming from the west. But as soon as he threw the Dharma, miraculously the cloud turned back toward the west. Then, in a poem, Dodrupchen gave his prophecy that there would be nothing more to fear from Nepalese forces. He sent it to the government in Lhasa. Because of his assurances, people in Samye stopped fleeing. He wanted to go see Jigme Lingpa, but couldn't, as no boat was available to cross Tsangpo River. Then he went to Korzo Ling, the temple of the Dharma protectors at Samye. First, he said prayers and performed ceremonies, but suddenly his manner totally changed. He shouted at the image of Pehar, the main Dharma protector of Tibet, hit it with his shawl, pulled down the covering of the image, and challenged the Dharma protector's promises to protect Tibet before the eyes of Guru Rinpoche. Finally, he felt peaceful and remained in contemplation in that place for a long time. Kalung Zasak Lama Khalzang Namgyal, one of the high authorities of Tibetan government, sent a special emissary to Dodrupchen for his prophecy about the Nepalese danger. Dodrupchen wrote his prophecy in a poem that included the following lines and sent it to Kalung Lama. In my mind, which is crystal clear primordial purity, appear the following words and expressions. When you are at ease, O arrogant people who are sullen with pride, do not listen to any unsubstantiated voice. Do not flee to any unknown land. As the 4 provinces of central Tibet were facing the threat of severe drought, Dodrupchen performed a fire offering ceremony, Homa, and produced heavy rain, bringing great relief for many from the danger of famine. From Samye, Dodrupchen went to Tseringjong. At that time, Jigme Lingpa couldn't read much because of eye problems, possibly cataracts. Jigme Gyalwe Nyukku sent for an eye doctor who performed a successful operation. Before taking his final leave, Dodrupchen offered everything he had, including his cherished old hat, to Jigme Lingpa. He experienced great joy and peace as a result of this action. Praising Dodrupchen, Jigme Lingpa gave him advice in writing, including the following lines. A person who can heal the disturbances of elements, who is able to tame negative circumstances, who can accomplish whatever the teacher orders him to do, isn't he called a fortunate disciple? Because of our past karmic relations, which began many previous lives ago, Jigme Trinle Orze, you came here from a long distance, from a place that is difficult to see or hear about, carrying as precious gifts the treasures of profound and vast teachings, which are hard to find. You are returning toward your homeland. You are like a successful trader returning across the ocean. If there were no karmic relations, even if you lived in the same part of the country, how could you see me as a bodhisattva who takes care of others? As prophesied in Nechang Tukki Drompu, while building the temple of Samye, we were related as father and son, the king and prince. Pure visions of the fact you saw by yourself from your childhood while remaining in solitary places, as I did in my life. You have received the prophecies above, discovering theirs. Now the treasure of Kama and Dharma teachings I am entrusting to you, and I prophesy that you will spread it in barbarous lands. As long as the realization of the true nature is not being lost to delusions, there is no need to spend one's life in retreats. Between you and me, there is no separation by the truth of the union of my mind and your mind, by the compassionate blessings of the three jewels, by the power of the three roots, and the actions of the Dharma protectors. May there be no negative circumstances in your Dharma activities, and may there not be a trace of any obstruction. Jigme Lingpa said, tonight you stay in my house. I have some advice to give you. So Dodrupchen spent his last night in the presence of Jigme Lingpa. Jigme Lingpa said, all the instructions that I have received on both canonical and Dharma teachings are the inheritance of both you and me. When I was entrusted with the